Hi, everyone. I'm here, as always, with Atlanta Gardner. This is our regulation rundown. So, what regulations are we running down today, Atlanta?
Oh, well, we have to talk about the Fed's rate cut because that did happen. Um, Maybe is there shenanigans? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it was expected. It kind of leaves you scratching your head saying what will affect mortgage rates at this point, right?
Yeah,
Because I
there
think
was no movement.
I saw it was like there was like an 87% expectation that there was going to be a 25 bips cut. So we're kind of playing we're talking about some of these things now with job reports and other things that it doesn't matter what the reports are as much as what people think they're going to be.
And are
Right.
they in line with what people think?
Exactly, right, because the market's price those in, and then what happens, like, if there is uncertainty beyond that, that's where there are more changes.
Yeah. And I think something I think a lot of people can be hopeful for is I do think the jobs report is probably going to come in a little low, and that
Yeah.
might move mortgage rates, right? Normally a bad jobs report is good for mortgage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But that's, I think, something that's very, I'll be interested to see when it comes out in January, because it's been a long time since we've had this data. I think is the biggest piece there. I think it's one of the longest recorded times in history of not having this report read out, right? And I think that is a big piece that we've never had before. So how is it going to affect mortgage rates? Are people forecasting for it because we haven't gotten that data?
I think that could be part of it for sure. And I know in the economic session back in October at MBA Annual, one of the things in talking about the Fed, they said the Fed has a dual mandate. They have to keep inflation down and keep unemployment down. And generally speaking, it seems like unemployment is the bigger priority to them out of those two. The speakers all seem to agree with that as the correct prioritization. But I think that's going to be even more reason to keep an eye on the jobs report, because that's what's going to spring the Fed into action more quickly than inflation.
I think it's going to be a good indicator of how the Fed will react to things in 2026.
It's tough, right? To your point, how reactionary are they going to be versus, I think there was a lot of politicalization of the Fed. This year, so it'll be interesting to see what that continues. I think they want to be out of those headlines to the extent possible and things to be a little bit more smoother. They telegraphed the heck out of the types of moves they say they're going to do. So we'll see if it's going to be, actually smooth sailing going into 2026, or if we're in for another choppy year.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask the big question. Do we think we're getting under 6 in 2026? Betting dollar, which is something we do here at LodeStar between us. I think I'm going no, unfortunately.
What are we now? 6.2, 6.3, something like that.
I think I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's like 5.95. I'm gonna take the other side, so I'll say yes. Not much.
Yeah.
Not by much would be my guess.
But I do think if we get to that 5.95, I think we will see movement.
Yeah.
We'll see people start to refi, all of that, right? So hopefully we'll see a little bit lower rates from this year.
We will see.